Hello and welcome back to the Right Within podcast. I'm your host, Michaela the Conscious Queen, and in today's episode, we're going to be discussing the spiritual significance of animals, having our own pets, having our own domesticated pets. What is the spiritual significance of having animals, and why are animals even here on the planet with us, right? So we're going to be getting into how animals, having our own pets, can, you know, help us with empathy, teach us how to appreciate our families, also how to understand love, not with words, but with benevolent actions. So, first off, we usually have domesticated animals such as dogs and cats. These are the most, I think, just at least in America, the most domesticated animals, you know? And why is that? I think it's because, they are small enough to fit in the home, right? And, they are kind of like, you can take them with you in the car, you can take them outside. Some people put their dogs in their bags, like if it's a small dog. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that the dog and the cat is very, how can I say, I guess you could say easy to take care of. So I guess that's why people have domesticated them over time, but there's so many mixed opinions about animals and their existence. Some people think animals should not be eaten at all. These are your vegans. They think that animals should not be eaten at all, that we should only stick to like a plant-based diet. And then you have some people who think that we should eat animals and that's healthy, people who are on like the carnivore diet. Yeah, like people who have like a carnivore, like we should eat animals from the land, and then, there are people who think that, animals should be free, we shouldn't keep them in zoos and aquariums, right, for our enjoyment. However, the fact is that humans do have dominion over animals, and we must take this seriously. So no matter what life you choose, whether you're a vegan, whether you eat animals, I think we should all take in consideration that they are spiritual beings just like us. Okay? So yeah, they are part of life, just like human beings, just like the trees, just like, the elements, the sun, the moon, they are a part of us. And I believe they were created to help us in, so many ways, right? Like even in some religions and like cultures, animals, even before they are slaughtered, there's a prayer that is said over the animal. Yes, I believe they do this in some religions. I'm not sure which ones exactly, and I don't want to say because um I'm not sure, right? But I feel like, yeah, like there's some sort of prayer that's said before the animal is slaughtered, because they are spiritual, in nature. They do have spirits. They are very sacred animals, even if you are eating them, okay? So, this indicates that we should be very, we should be very, like, taking care of them, right? So, even if you have pets in your home, you take care of them, you treat them well, right? They are here, to remind us that we are here to love. So, human beings, we are here to love each other, to love animals, to love our family, to love our friends, right? So, the animals or our pets, like if you have a dog or a cat, our domesticated animals are here to remind us of that. And they show us that through our through their actions, right? So they show us how to love through action, right? Think about it. Animals cannot speak. They can't talk. So we have higher intelligence than animals. We can speak, we can communicate. But how is it that, like, sometimes your animal knows when something is wrong with you? How do they know? How do they know that? Because they're here, our animals, our pets are here to show us how to love through action. Okay? So, yes. When you're not feeling well, and your cat comes and brushes by you, you know they're here to comfort you, exactly, or your dog. They can sense when something is wrong. So they're also here to show us how to follow our instincts, follow our intuition. Sometimes when you know something's happening, your animal will, like, they will start to go crazy, and you're like, what are you like, why are you barking? If it's a dog, why are you barking? Or why is the cat hissing? It's because they they're in tune. You know what I'm saying? They are spiritual angels for us. I really do believe that. I really do believe that our animals are angels for us, and we need to listen to our animals, our domesticated pets. Listen to them, because honestly, they can see things that you cannot see. Okay, so they help us tap into our innermost instincts and remind us that on a basic level, we are animals, right? But we do have higher intelligence, so we are able to overcome our animalistic instincts. But at the same time, we should not forget that. We should not forget that we have those instincts, okay? Right? So our pets, they protect us in so many ways. They help us tap in to our instincts. They help us physically, right? To protect us physically, and spiritually. I believe that. So, if you are eating animals, give thanks, right? When you're about to eat, whether you're religious, whether you're not religious, I just think um it's very, like, reverent to give thanks for just the meal that you're eating in general, okay? But especially if it's an animal, that chicken or the cow or the fish that was slaughtered in order for you to eat, their spirit their spirit probably went through a lot of pain. So, in order, I believe, spiritually, to kind of like cleanse that energy, just a simple gratitude, just a simple wow, thank you for this meal. Thank you for the nutrition that is being supplied to my body, right? And in that gratitude, right, we can thank that animal, and the spirit can move on in peace. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it's important, especially if you're eating, um, like a cow or chicken. Just say thank you. Thank that chicken for the nutrition, right? Thank it. Thank that animal spirit so that none of that energy is going into your body. Okay. As for our domestic animals, right? Make sure you are taking the time to show them that you love them, right? So, like, if you have a dog, walk your dog, or play fetch, right? Do whatever it is that, show your dog that you love the dog, right? If it's a cat, let it play with some yarn or something, or like a feather, you know. Just to show your domesticated animals that you appreciate them, that you love them, that you are, grateful to have them in your life. Okay? Our animals provide us with comfort, with humor. Sometimes like I love watching those like silly cat videos or the silly dog videos. Sometimes like our animal companions can be so funny. And so they supply us with so much. And most importantly, a friendship. I really do believe that our animals, like, they really show us what it is like to be a good friend and to have a good friend and to have loyalty, right? Even dogs seem to be like some of the most loyal animals ever. And it's just like, we can learn from that. We can learn from our animal companions for sure, because they show us love. They don't say it, right? Which is what, human beings, like, we're used to talking, we're used to expressing our love with words, but they show us that they love us, right? So our animals show us, whether they come, they brush by your feet, you know they brush by your feet, or you know maybe your animal will come and cuddle with you, right? They show you, not through words, right, but through actions. Okay? Our animal companions, they also teach us how to be selfless, how to be kind and open hearted. Most of the time, me personally, when I'm having like a bad day, or, something just is not working out for me, my dog will literally just come and like sit next to me, and she'll like, she'll give me kisses. And I'm just like, wow, like, this is what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Like, our pets provide so much love for us. So the most that we can do is take care of them, give them what they need. Okay? If you wish to grow spiritually, mentally, emotionally, I feel like, perhaps taking care of an animal can offer you companionship, even if you're just feeling lonely. So many people, they talk about how they don't have friends, or they don't have people to hang out with, when in fact, you can get like a pet and hang out with your pet all the time, and you will feel way, way, way less lonely. Okay? So yes, I feel like a pet can help you with that, for the people who are struggling with their loneliness. That can definitely help, having a physical presence next to you. Okay. Also, it can teach you how to be responsible for something else besides yourself. Like, it's actually, I feel like having a pet is good preparation for a child. Exactly. I don't have kids yet, but I feel like that's like the first step. Like, the first step is you have like a dog or a cat, or even a fish, like any like sort of pet that you have to look after, and you clean up after, and you take care of this kind of dependent, right? And it shows you how to be responsible for something else besides yourself. So that's really great, especially for people who desire to have children one day. Your animal can help you with that, help you cultivate that selflessness and teach that responsibility. Okay, and lastly, in these animals, they help us cultivate empathy, right? Sometimes when you see your animal hurt, you feel hurt. You say, oh, like, I know plenty of times, sometimes like I'm in the kitchen and like I will step on my dog. I said, oh my God. Like I would step on her paw. I said, "Oh my god, no!" And like you feel so bad because you don't want to see them get hurt. You don't want to see your animal get hurt. And so I just like I give her a hug and I say, "I'm so sorry. Mommy is sorry." So yeah, it increases our empathy. We if they're hurting, we hurting. If they're happy, we're happy. You see your pet, after they eat or whatever and they're happy, you feel so good, you feel so happy. So yeah, so that's also why it's important to you know be thankful for your pet, for your domesticated animal, right? Because they do so much for us, so that's the least that we can do for them, and just show them that we love them and that we're here to take care of them. That was today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed that one. Next week's episode is going to be about nature and our importance of why we should be connected to nature and spending ample amounts of time in nature. So yeah, tune into the next episode and stay right within.